Good evening, Randomizer fans, and welcome to Fun Fantasy Randomizer SGLive Tournament. My name is Lord Fizzlebeef. Joining me in the booth today is Danny. How's it going, Danny?
Doing pretty alright. I get to call a race with two really good runners with my favorite person, and yeah, I can't really complain too much.
We're a bit under the gun as our runners are going to start any minute now. We got LuffyDV, admin extraordinaire. We got fcoughlin, a mainstay in basically every single randomizer community. We got our forced parties today, forced black belt, forced fighter, forced black mage in our wonderful forced SGLive flag set. Brief rundown of the bonuses while I got a second. That fighter has got hurt undead, that black belt's got 10 MDef, and that black mage has +1 MP level all. So definitely a stronger black mage. The rest could be better, could be worse.
They're fine.
They're fine.
Perfectly playable characters. Although in these flags, I believe I was gonna say we can pick up party members, so the party we start with may not be the party we finish with.
And looks like Fred Coughlin is broadcasting his intentions early. Full carry from the black belt. Maybe Dan the fighter, probably Dan the black mage, and we're off. Let's see what we got. Black magic, we got Zap and Warp. Warp is strong. Zap is a thing to do, I guess. Are we even going to bother checking white magic? Luffy is, and doesn't care. Fred is already storming towards TOF. Luffy checking the armor shop. It was garbage.
It's where there were things in shops, Fred just didn't care.
We're just going to ignore those boxes and head straight to Garland. Zap does zap things. First key items out of the gate. We get a crown. And we get an herb.
Deed is telling us, go left.
It's really telling us go left, because we've got extended open progression on. We can get to both of those on foot. Ooh.
Yeah.
Luffy deciding to open the boxes in TOF. Doesn't get much out of the bottom left box, but in the top left, he got 15 grand. So if there's an early vendor item, that might be a thing we're interested in. And Fred says, I don't care about level 2 magic or Bicky. I got 2 fetches for going left. Let's go left. Fascinating.
If I had better level 1 magic, I would likely do the same. However, nothing but Zap feels real bad on our little black mage, so...
Well, the other thing we have is Warp. And we do have an incentive marsh. We have no levels, we have no defenses, we have no gear. But, and we have no thief for run speed. But, we might revisit that if our herb turn-in doesn't pan out and our crown turn-in doesn't pan out.
Yeah, we're gonna need something to get through Astos, because I'm not sure Zap's gonna do it.
If you mash reset enough times, it'll get there, but that's not the best racing strat. What does herb get us? A canoe! Oh boy. The payoff is immediate.
Now question is, where do you go with our tiny boat?
And our level 3 nuke? Into the river system for levels. Or double back to get... No, double back to get Crown and Marsh, and then we head to the right to head for Crescent. Meanwhile, Luffy doing the sensible thing, going to Provoca.
Yeah, because level 3 nuke is great. Problem currently is we don't have levels for it, so...
And out of the pirates, we get the rod. So 100% correct to just kind of ignore Provoca and head west. Yeah, Lightning 3 is great and all, but we got a level 3 nuke over in the other area. Garbage weapons. Itty bitty tiny baby in.
Yeah, someone shook Provoca like a snow globe and tossed around all the buildings.
Pro rings are located in Provoca, but we don't necessarily need that information just yet. No vendor item here either. And we're still checking. We got level 2 Fade, I guess. That's the thing.
I was wrong. We had one cast of level 3 that Nuke could have worked on Astos. Problem is, Fred got fast with the money he had. We don't have Nuke money, so he's trying to, and he took one fight and he was less than 100 gold shy. So he's trying to get Nuke money right now.
Yeah. Anything will do, including wolves.
And Luffy with that Lightning 3 can stop on the way and do Astos, so he's not going to have to double back for that.
I think we're going to have a high five in Northwest Castle momentarily.
It's definitely looking that way.
Even the trash is helping to make sure that we hold hands just as soon as we get there. Perfect.
Perfect.
Perfectly in sync. And our prized character here is a white wizard.
Meh.
Yeah, I don't want it. Ooh, Bane Sword that I believe we picked up out of the Dwarf Cave gets there. Both our runners take down Astos, get a ship. Luffy takes the White Wizard, replaces the fighter.
I mean, it's not the worst, because we have a black belt and we're not using.
And Fred mismenued. He accidentally replaced his black belt with the White Wizard. Said, no, thank you.
No.
Let's just do that Astos fight again. Nobody saw that.
Yeah, the replacing the fighter with the White Wizard, not a bad idea, because we're not using the fighter for much of anything in these flags. We all know that black belt's going for a workout later. And we've got Harm 3 or Harm 4 at level 1. Which, I believe has the flag on for this. It means that White Wizard can use Harm 4 on everything. And we have Faded too. So it's about to get real good magic.
So Fred heading down into Marsh Cave. Luffy going...
I think Luffy forgot where his boat was going to be. I think he was looking at the dwarf dock for it.
No, from Northwest Castle, that ship is going to be at Elflin, but we're just going to put that off and we're going to go do Marsh. Meanwhile, in Marsh, zombies are packing Lightning 2. Annoying, but if we can get the nuke or Lightning 3 or what have you off immediately, we can get them before they get us. And Luffy deciding, no, we're not doing Marsh Cave. We're gonna go this way now.
I understand the play, but with that level 1 warp that we're not using many cast of anything else, Marsh early.
I mean, here's the thing: we're never gonna be any closer than where we just were. And Fred picks up the ruby. I have a feeling that's going to pay off as soon as we figure out where that canal is.
More good magic for that white mage. Although in the back of my head I went, yeah, but a red wizard can learn that life too. Heal 3, which is really good for that white wizard. And Ice 3 and Quad X, both really good spells. Lock 2...
Really good magic in 1 through 4.
Yeah, that Lock 2, sure, it can be useful, but if we're grinding this black belt to 42, probably not going to use it much.
Yeah. Gold -1 bracelets that are kind of pricey. I don't think we're going to see much use out of them. By the time we have the money for them, that's probably going to be post-grind. And then we're not going to super care about mage armor anymore, probably.
Yeah, they're early game pricey, late game cheap.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you want your mages to last a little longer, in Topher at least, you might want to throw something on them.
So Luffy, first to Crescent. Do we got a vendor item? Nope. Do we got armor we want? Nope.
So far, Crescent is a big letdown.
We got black magic we want. Nope. Alright, does Circle of Sages have anything we want? Nope.
I stand by my original statement. I hear that town's party planners took a year off. They got real sad after that.
So Luffy is done, I think, with the Inner Sea. We're not paddling up towards Ice or Volcano. So I'm going to assume that we're skipping both of those. I think Luffy's going to double back towards Marsh. Whereas Fred, docking up at Provoca. He has not been here yet, so he's going to get the rod. It'll be interesting to see where he goes next. Oh, that's right, we gotta load up on white magic for that white mage. That's what we're doing. Okay. I just completely forgot it existed. I kind of have a blind spot for white mages. I understand they theoretically are possible, and yet I cannot tell you that I ever see them. Oh, never mind. Luffy paddling upwards.
Yeah, he doesn't know this, but progression's in Ice. So, smart guess on Luffy's part. Ed, who already knows he needs to head there, will be traveling a little further south than Provoca as soon as he's done shopping.
Yeah, Luffy will for sure be first to the canal, but Fred won't be terribly far behind, and he'll have a ruby. And we're heading that way. Oh, that's right. Coughlin has yet to go to Crescent, so we're doing the easy Crescent check first, and if that's not what we want, then we'll go to Ice Cave.
Crescent was so disappointing, I'd completely forgotten about it.
Luffy taking a couple cheeky levels out of Ice Cave. Very good place for that.
Also, when you have to do a low-level ice dive, you're real happy when you have warp.
Interesting. I would have guessed that Luffy would have checked the eye tile, but he will not. I'm gonna run over the wizards a second time. Fred gets the bad news that Oxiel is a thing that exists. I'm gonna go paddling through the river system towards Ice. So runners are gonna link up once again at Ice Cave. However, Mr. Coughlin is up a Marsh Dive and has a Ruby, which is 2 incentive checks as soon as we get the canal out of here.
And in these flags, the incident box in ice is random, so it's going to be somewhere in here. We just don't know where yet, so even though we had warp to warp back up there and check it, all we got was a little bit of money. And an ice cave that really does not like Luffy's black belt.
Well, we got a flame armor. Cries and ditched fighter.
The white mage can turn it into something else and wear it in memory of.
We got an Agama, but it's got spells and it starts with slow, so never mind. The joy is short-lived.
Luffy with the fast thinking with that, the sword with the infinite cast of harm 2. Which, because of that white mage with its fancy new bonus can kill everything with.
Gotta turn that white mage into a deeply medium damage totem. Oh, it's gonna be in these last 3 boxes. That's a little disheartening.
This only feels okay.
Oh, and we checked the tile for funsies on the way out. But it's not what we want.
Yeah, other than getting our key out of here, ice was about as disappointing as Crescent. We found much of nothing in boxes, and none of the tiles were good. And definitely not for a black belt.
So Luffy gets the key out of ice, so we're on our way to Canaria. Meanwhile, Red taking on the Blue Dragon for some early experience. Getting over level 10, probably straight to level 11. We're coming up on 17 minutes in, and if I were either of these runners, I would feel pretty good about my progress so far. Ooh. Luffy, with the spicy play, to just do Volcano while we're here. Probably on the hunt for a grind tile. Well, we find a fire, that's... I mean, it's not great. We can probably do better.
A bit of information that some people may know. Luffy and I may have both trained at least a little under the same person, who has a saying of, he who grinds first wins. So looking for a tile when you are running for a black belt, like early, is super important.
And that was entirely Luffy's Volcano play, is checking the first 2 tiles to see whether or not there was anything there what we wanted. The answer was no, so we're headed elsewhere. With this key in hand, and with him definitely having that philosophy right now, I can't help but wonder if we're going to see a Temple of Fiends keylock check and a Northwest Castle keylock check real quickly to see if those are tiles that we want. And I believe that was our canal. Yeah, it was. Okay. Alright, we might be bypassing the Temple of Fiends check for now. As fcoughlin is into grind formation. Either he doesn't have the information about slow, or he's decided dang the torpedoes full speed ahead. Meanwhile, Luffy finds a wonderful party grind, but not exactly what we're looking for a black belt. Oh, that is a zombie D, and we got a party grind right next to it. I would plant my flag here.
Seemed like a little bit of a chunky zombie D, but
Sure,
we're starting off with decent levels, so getting a black belt to where it can oh, okay.
Ooh. It's a little ugly. Come with me on this journey. All we have to do is move the mages up to the top slots, and then just let these mummies with high melee and frost take them out for us eventually. And then everything will be good. We just have to let them not get punched in the face a couple times. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Yeah. That's the ticket. Not
I feel like I'm watching this game make Luffy pay for getting rid of his spider by just repeatedly killing his black belt after the fact.
Mm-hmm. Oh, behind that slow, that Agama is rocking Lightning 3, but the black belt's up to 18. Are we just committing? We sure are. How many punches does it take to get to the center of that Agama? A one, a two, a two.
Yeah.
Unless we get tagged by slow.
Yeah, I think the smart running. It's like, no, I've been slowed. I must run. Okay, yeah, now that one is just one punch. It's only got about it's somewhere under 240 HP, and I think the more dangerous thing out of that Agama is the slow 2, not the lightning 3, because he's got enough HP, like he's gonna, and even the frost, like he's gonna survive a cast or 2 of those, but that's slow. It feels bad. Like he's getting through it.
He's getting through it. It's dangerous, but I would say that his rate right now is significantly faster than what Luffy's going for here. Luffy is going for safety. And I cannot entirely fault it based on seeing scripts and whatnot out of that mummy pack. But this is going to start to feel real slow real fast.
I'm guessing. I'm gonna say Luffy gets them to 21 and then Dan's off the mages. If he can do that, he's going to be getting more experience from this fight than Fred is from the Agama, but Fred's already got a pretty decent-ish lead on that black belt grind.
That's true, but we're still in Ice Cave, which is no walk in the park. We're up to 26. I have not seen his heal pots in a while. I don't know how many we have left, and we're playing real fast and loose. I would be concerned and scared at a sub 200 health black belt all by its lonesome on an unsafe tile grind. Oh, there we go.
It's fine, you just gotta punch them first before they punch you.
So we're gonna have around 30 heal pots left. Boy. Oh, they have frost too. Neat. Question chat is, does this flag set have save on game over? It does not. And that is correct. We're on 3 orbs. We only need 3 orbs to get through into the Temple of Fiends Revisited. We've already found we get the free one out of Volcano, and we've already got the Rod and the Oxyel to get those two. So in terms of orbs, we've got most of what we need. We still need the floater to access on-rack, but other than that...
All we are missing is a loot and chunky black belts.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those we're currently working on.
Mm-hmm. Ding 30 for the fcoughlin black belt. But we took a lot of damage on that. How low are we going to go with these heal pots before we declare enough is enough? Because we still have to yank the canal out of here. He knows it's in the last 5 boxes somewhere. Oh, it's a different single thing that we could punch. Of the encounters that we could have found on that floor, that was probably the best one. Oh, right. It's the key that we're yanking out of here. Well, yeah, the key turns into the canal. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Oh, we just went below 15 heal pots remaining. We're at 10 left, and it's time to bail. I don't think we hit 32, but we're close enough that surely we can sneeze on something and get the rest of the way.
Chad saying we got to 32.
Okay, we did
last
on the
time I saw
time.
was it was right before it, so.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Luffy attempting to go down to the single black belt, still hovering in low 20s, so his grind is definitely going to take longer.
He's doing pretty good damage, though, with that black belt, so I don't want to jinx anybody, but I think we need to get that white mage down, and then I think the black belt will be fine. Problem is, I just watched one of those dragons hit that white wizard, and it just laughed it off. Like, sorry.
Like
nice
we got an undead shaped wood chipper, one space down and 2 spaces to the left.
Yeah, it hit the white mage and it just said missed, and then it hit the black belt, and the black belt's like, ouch. We need that to work the other way around.
So Fred's out of Ice Cave. On his way to go turn in that key check. Luffy not having any luck with these zombie dragons. They really want to just punch the black belt. There we go.
Was well timed. Now all that's going to funnel into that black belt.
Go outside, house real quick, and then go back and do more. Did I say house? I meant cabin. Whatever sleeping implement we've got.
Thing just in the woods. Not quite as many, benefits. But essentially. Punches to get a zombie dragon down. That doesn't feel super great.
Yeah. It's these 2 dragon fights that we need to start having a little bit more power, maybe some crits.
If he could keep getting 2 at a time, this is going to speed up quite a bit, because we're getting almost 10,000 experience. And Fred with his canal, he can now sell the open seas, and unlike Luffy, he has the Ruby out of Marsh, so he is able to go do those incentive checks.
Two questions on my mind right now. Number one, what's the Ruby going to turn into? And number two, does Luffy stop at 32? Because Fred had to stop at 32. Like, it was a necessity. Luffy has a choice.
I think the things that are going to factor in most of that decision are boss scaling and where Fast and Timberland.
Well, there's Adamant. Heard you like fetch.
Because, like, if you have Fast and Temper at lower levels, which I don't believe we've seen yet.
We saw Fast.
Okay, we saw Fast, but we don't have Temper. So
yeah.
Fast makes 32 a little more doable. Temper would be nice. But, like, if you don't have either of those, then, like, stopping at 32 is scary. Hey, look, a Temper Pump. All the temper you could ask for. So there's those two problems solved. So 32, totally doable.
Yep.
Unless Chanigan rolled something absolutely horrendous and these bosses are super gross. Which they're alternative bosses, so it's very possible.
Oh yeah. There's all kinds of script table shenanigans that occur with the alt fiends. Oh, we got a restreamer in chat calling his shot. Their final boss is gonna be Fun Dead. You heard it here first, folks.
I feel bad for them already. Just the possibility of that possibly being true.
Hooray!
Will forever hear it in my head like that, always. Doesn't matter who does it, it always just sounds like that.
Alright, we turned in our Adamant, we got our Crystal. Heard you like fetch. Haven't checked in with Luffy in a little bit, but as I look over, we're still on 6 hits. Ooh! Ooh! So, what we've learned here is that Marsh Ruby turns into Floater. That is bad.
That is required.
Yeah. Well, we hit 33 and we're still a-grinding.
Yes, what we are currently learning is that if Topher is really nasty, well, Luffy's gonna have an easier time. His mages have better levels, and that black belt's gonna be a good bit chunkier.
This will be really the question for the run is, will Luffy's denser black belt propel him to victory over the early Marsh, early airship?
Yeah, the stopping at 32 and doing Marsh first is giving Fred quite a bit of a lead.
Well, there's also something else to note. Because Northern Docks are not on in the flag set, there's really only two options for Luffy right now. We can either do Marsh or we can do Ordeals. And if Ordeals doesn't give us what we want, which it pretty much can't, then he'll have to turn around and do Marsh anyway. So there is a path to catch up, but we're just... It's going to involve everything running out of our way because we're level 42.
Like, so, Luffy's in Northwest. I would guess that Luffy's going to want to bring back his mages. Now, if he leaves here and he goes to Elfland, which is close to town, if he just swings, you know, south, might do Marsh, but I don't know. I'm with Chanigan in chat. My gut tells me he will probably do Ordeals before he does Marsh.
Yeah, Ordeals would seem the play. I wouldn't hate it.
Fred killing 2 birds with 1 stone, headed to Waterfall, and then he can just do... He can take on a Kraken while he's there, which lights one of his orbs. Good call. Because he had either Waterfall or he could have done Ordeals, and he doesn't... all he needs is the loot. So going to the place where like you already have to go... Smart.
Counter table not being kind to Fred as Luffy continues just launch.
Yeah,
Being
that
41.
And say that level 1 warp is about to be real handy in Waterfall.
And I heard you like fetch.
The 2 things we've seen a lot of in the seed. Dragons and fetch quest.
Luffy going to reinflate the party at Melmond.
That's so rarely... There's so rarely in like a clinic in Melmond that I always forget about it.
Still no sign of castable temper. So that's got to be either 7 or 8. We've got castable exit. That's going to make Marsh Dive a bit more palatable. We have armor, I guess.
Been practicing Fall League flags week 1. You know how weird it is for me to see a magic shop with a door?
Meanwhile, lobsters with stone poison. Bit rough for the mages, but that black belt is pretty hardy against that. And yeah, Luffy headed south, headed for Ordeals. Now what will be helpful is if this turns into the loot. Because if I was already in the air, suddenly Ordeals is going to be one of the last things on my list to do.
Yeah, floater is something you always kind of really want early because you want it so you can fly around. But if you can get Ordeals out of the way beforehand, it's, at least for me, it's preferred because then you don't have to take the long walk. You can just dock your boat there, take a short stroll, and get it out of the way.
So Fred having a rough time with the stone poisoned lobsters in sea. Down to his last 5 soft potions, but we're on Kraken's floor, so we probably got this. And we're to the Kraken. And by Kraken, I mean... it's Odin! Everyone's favorite tentacled horse rider. We're gonna go with some Invis 2, because we don't want to be hit by Odin's 8 arms. Fast goes off. Odin fasts. That's... uh-oh. 12 hits 821. Odin is still there. Panic, panic, Invis 2, nuke, incoming fire 2, we dodge the 8 arms, 1, 2, 3, punch, 13 hits, 838, down goes Odin. Easy peasy.
Or in sea, did it make it a seahorse? Just remember you like me. I don't know where Phoenix is, but he'd be proud of it. Although I'm sure if Darkman's still in chat, he's sharing your pain.
Darkman has fled chat, I guarantee it. Luffy still having a bit of problems with this pillar maze. It's finally to the other end of it.
Oh,
hey, the eye tile.
Well, now you show up. Thanks a bunch.
And well, that could still be loot.
It could be.
It could be.
We just turned in the bottle. I didn't catch what the bottle was, though.
Bottle turned into cube.
Okay.
which is not something Fred cares about because,
Yeah, we don't need that at all.
yeah, with a 32 black belt, I would rather do Earth. There's enough stuff in there that will just get out of our way, but he's headed for ordeals now.
So I'm looking. Yeah, Luffy knows he has to do Marsh to get in the air.
Mhm.
I'm looking at what we have and don't have.
Right.
I'm fairly certain that slab is going to turn into TNT, and that TNT is going to turn into our loot.
That seems correct.
So slab required. So it feels bad to get like the slab and ordeals when that is not what you want, but at least it's required.
Mm-hmm. So Luffy in Marsh looking for the incentive item. It is in a random box, but I find more often than not the random incentive box tends to be in the top section, and I believe it is also today.
We saw Fred just like 25 minutes ago. My old lady brain doesn't remember back that far.
There we go. We got our breakfast
you're right.
cereal.
What every black belt needs is a healthy breakfast.
Gotta eat your Wheaties.
Best way to start your day. Or so I hear.
So Luffy is on the chain to get Floater. Meanwhile, Fred is on the chain to get loot, and he's up an orb. Oh, Fred's gonna take the seafood party pack tile that's in here. This is of the A side tiles the best tile for party grinding. It's very lethal, so you definitely need to be able to power through it and take a couple hits. But if you are looking to shore up levels, you're not gonna find a better tile than that on the A sides.
Yeah, it's super spooky. But like we've got Nuke, we've got Fade, we've got Lit 3 if those run out. He's pretty alright to take that a couple of times if you wanted.
We got our Temper Gauntlet, which is going to be great for that white mage.
White mage has Fade, like 2, Invis 2. Gets
And
Timberhawk, and now she's usable. Now she has a purpose.
Yep.
About time.
Oh. Hooray!
Fred headed to translate his slab.
Luffy gets the bad news on the floater.
Yeah, because skipping Marsh when it's there and it's early and you go right past it, only to be like, oh man, that was required. Especially this late into a seed. Oh, feels bad.
So Fred in Earth now, gonna get second orb. Even at 32, some of the critters in here are running away.
And the others are braver than they should be. So where are we headed? We'll be headed to Volcano. We're gonna knock out our first orb. And the quickest of the ones to knock out.
Yeah, I don't hate it. We're right here. Let's just do it.
He's playing proximity, so my guess would be do this and either do this then C, or do this then Earth because he has to do the slab translation, and then do its loot, and then do C. Either way, I would be genuinely a bit surprised if he did slab translation and didn't do Earth while he was over there.
Yeah. So Fred already down to the Lich floor. Today the part of Speed Bump will be played by S. Ifrit. Good night, Ifrit. Oh my god, it's still there. What the heck?
He didn't get the memo.
Meanwhile, we got Beelzebub over in Volcano.
I mean, we did.
We did. We used to. There's a Beelzebub-shaped crater in the floor.
You know all fiends are on when whatever is in Earth puts up a bigger fight than what's in Volcano.
And we got a slab and a red mage on the side of the road, but it's too late for mages. We're headed to the end game.
Yeah, we have everything we need with the party we currently have. We're not trading any out for anyone else.
So Fred loading up on heal pots. Oh no, picking. Oh no, TNT is. There is a ruse stick. There's an incentive ruse stick that's out there. So this slab translation is either going to be our loot or our ruse stick.
I mean, granted, we want the loot to be the thing we find the fastest because it's the thing we need the most, but ruse stick's not bad to have.
Ooh, alright. So required ordeals. Slab was loot.
You know, the Lefanian Superstore has been a nice addition to the randomizer. You can just buy all your magic while you're there, but like, I'm wondering when Lefane's going to become a chain, and like we just put a new location right there by, you know, the parking spot. Because boy, that's a long walk.
You know, they put all their money into developing the superstore. Parking will tend to itself.
I mean, you'd think they'd at least thought to maybe put a parking spot a little closer. They do much more business that way.
So that Ifrit-shaped smear on the ground lights Luffy's second orb as Fred is hot on the tail of his final orb and has loot and key. Luffy is on the right track, but he's got a couple options that might lead him astray. Headed straight for Onrak. Right?
Yeah, he hasn't done the check here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't done this check yet either, which is going to give him his chime, which he's not going to need, so... He was a hoping, and he was let down.
Still looking for that vendor item. Meanwhile, Fred gonna take on Beelzebub. We get the fast. We get an incoming hit that does nothing. Fade goes out for 109. Punch. 15 hits, 903. Beebs is still there. Let's try some nuke. 165 still there. Fade. 151. There it goes. That is Fred off to Topher.
Not really, it's just seeing if the grinding only to 32 was enough.
Alright, Topher, what do you got for us today? We go to the right side, that's Titan. By process of elimination, that's Tia 2. But we got a 32 black belt. Let's punch in, see what we got. Invis 2 goes off, fast goes off. Incoming lightning 2, that ain't gonna do much. Punch. 10 hits, 739, a good start, but with the health scaling where it is in this flag set, we're gonna need another couple of those. Tornado comes in, 100 or less across the board, very nice. 12 hits, 1091, down goes Titan 2.
Meanwhile, Loopy almost cracking. We just got a couple more floors to go, but like, we've hit a spawn encounter. We're not getting many. We're just booking it.
Oh, Fred 2 for 2 on the worst path as he gets Odin 2. We're going to Invis 2 just in case. Punch goes out, 6 hits, 289. That's not great. Fast goes out. Incoming Nuclear does a number to that White Mage. We don't have Gear 4. We're just going to heal 3 and hope for the best. A fasted punch goes out, 11 hits, 994. Heal 3. Getting that White Mage back to over 150. Dazzle isn't going to do anything against that black belt. One more punch might get us there. Incoming melee takes the black belt to under 200. Outgoing melee, 763 takes down Odin 2. We are on to the final boss.
You may need to be a little more specific about your punches. Because your one more punch might get us there. Almost got us there in the wrong direction.
So, chat now calling for Warmech and friends. We had an earlier call for Fun Dead. We're maneuvering our White Mage, a Blade of Meat Shield. What do we got? Is Fun Dead?
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Uh-oh.
The one that everyone cringes when they see, because, oh boy, there's a Phantom, they hit hard, and it's...
Phantoms have detonated the Black Mage. We were going for the all blasty strat. We didn't quite get there. The first Ifrit 2 spell is Fire 3, which is not great. The Phantoms have a spell list as well. I would argue that almost helps, except it's sleep and it's kind of harassing us. Oh, but the Phantoms also have slow right behind it. The black belt got tagged with slow. Time for a reset. Are we going back in? We're going back in. Alright, what do we got in boxes? We got anything in boxes that'll save us?
And it looked like Loopy got the TNT. He didn't turn in the slab, did he?
Not that I am aware of.
Yeah, I think he got this and he's hoping it's loot. Oh, feels bad.
Well, I got a ribbon.
I mean, he saved in the smart spots. He could reset back, but that's still gotta feel bad.
Yeah. Fred could have used that ribbon, because that would dodge the slow, I believe. Luffy finds the ribbon, doesn't need it because he's 42. And on the second dive, we're going back through the pain path. We could have gone left, gone through Ifrit 2 and Beelzebub 2, but nope. We're going to go through Titan and Odin.
Fred's no quitter.
So Luffy has loot in hand. I believe killed a Kraken.
Yeah, Luffy has Elazorb Slit.
Is wrestling the encounter table. And is now probably headed for Topher. Meanwhile, Fred Coughlin gonna take another crack at this, leaving the black belt in the top slot. Gonna go for AoE damage. Fade goes out first. Good damage to 3 of those 4 phantoms. Incoming melee almost takes down our Beefcake Meat Shield. The Zeus Gauntlet ain't doing much. Incoming sleep. The Black Mage dodges it. Fire 3 not doing great. Here's the nuke. 1 phantom down, 2 phantoms down. That's a bit of good news, but our health is not super. What do we prioritize? Is it the Ifrit? Is it the phantoms? Is it staying alive? We dodged a slow on our black belt. Next nuke goes out. All 4 phantoms are down, but an Ifrit 2 Lich-based melee takes out the black belt. We're on heal 3 and nuke strats. Fast ain't gonna do anything. Never mind, it meleeed down a black mage. What do I know? Fade going out. Takes down 1 of the 2 Ifrits. Can we get the other one? Stop! Oh, the white mage has stopped. But it can't get meleeed. Never mind, yes it can. Down it goes. Luffy, meanwhile, also on the fun dead fight. It's the solo black belt all by itself. Luffy going through the liches first. The phantoms trying to slow, trying to sleep, trying to hold. LOL, too bad. It's 200 MDef coming at you. Just gonna mow through these. And that is a GG for LuffyDV, coming in at an official race time GG time of 55 minutes and 51 seconds.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh man.
Which deciding that poor Fred needed a break.
Fred needs
after
a break.
That Topher, which I agree.
And we're joined in the booth by Luffy. How's it going, Luffy?
Oh my god, what was that shenanigan?
Times when I'm real happy to say I didn't roll a thing, and right now, I'm pretty glad I didn't roll that.
Man, hats off to Fred. He was way out in front from what I heard, and I got very lucky. So GG's to him, a heck of a race.
Yeah, so I think the key difference is that he did an early marsh dive, and you did.
Yeah, I feel like every year in this tournament, I either fade marsh or fade ice, and one of them is my undoing. And last week it was ice, and this week it was marsh, and I got lucky to survive it this time.
So, first question, I guess, is tell me about grind strategy. Tell me how you got to where you got, and tell me if you were happy with what you had.
I was not happy. Those zombie dragons were very uncooperative. They were tanky. They were thick. The Agama was a much better idea, but I didn't like the idea of turn 1 slow on them. So when I found the zombie dragons, I'm like, you know what? All right, I'm just going to do this. Once I get 6 hits, I should be fine. And 6 hits was not exactly fine. I'm like, okay, fine. 8 hits, I'll be fine. And it was, but by then I felt real bad. And then I faded Marsh again and went to Ordeals and saw the eye and just went, oh no.
Well, I have good news, bad news. So the good news is that your opponent also didn't grind the eye tile.
Yeah, I think he told me he did the Agamas and we were chatting after.
Yeah. Yep, he did the Agamas, and he found out what the spell after slow was. It turns out it was Lightning 3.
Oh, gross.
There was also Frost in there. So.
Yes.
Oh, man. I mean, I guess that was a good decision then, but I mean, it's still like the zombie dragons were regretful for about 8 minutes.
So,
Yeah.
in essence, what ended up happening is you started your grind first, but he finished first at it was close,
Hmm.
but
I think
he
Fred
finished
might have
his
started his just a little earlier, but he got his characters down faster than Luffy, and I think that was a
yeah,
big difference on why his went faster.
Hmm.
yeah, but he had to stop at 32 because he ran out of heal pots.
Yep.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
the zombie dragons, like, they were just thick enough where I just wanted to keep the mages up as long as I could.
mhm.
And I didn't want to keep doing that. Like, when I went out and saved twice, I thought, like, do I leave and go look for something else? But, like, you never leave a grind when you find it. And I was just like, all right, no, I'm just gonna power through this and not keep looking. And it turned out okay, but I mean, it was very uncomfortable the whole time.
Yeah, when they saw how hard it was getting the zombie design, it's like those mages aren't going anywhere until his black belt is at least 21.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I think, and I said early on, and I think that really was what made the difference in Topher was you going to 42.
Yeah, the scaling in this, like, can be really rude, especially with the alt final boss being exactly what it was. Fun Dead is scary. We do not like it. It's not friendly for a black belt. It's fine. I'd much rather see Double Dragon when I have a black belt, but I mean, it's okay. And thank goodness those phantoms decided to just punch one turn, because I think one of them hit me for almost 500 damage, and then they just kept casting dazzle and hold and sleep and slow and just all the crap that just did nothing. And I'm like, well, if I wipe, then at least I know that they're here, but I'm just going to keep going. And somehow made it through on my first dive, even though I had no business doing that.
There are a lot of things in our community that people have differing opinions on. Undead is one I think we all universally agree sucks and we all hate it.
Yeah, it is scary. It's probably the worst final, but I think it's worse than War Mech and Friends personally, but it's just brutal. It's brutal.
It absolutely is, because Phantoms, they usually have a ton of health and they hit like trucks, and then there's like 6 of them, and if you don't have nuke, fade, some like really, really good sweepers, it's bad times. There's no getting around. I mean, even with it, we saw today, it's bad times even with the good stuff. So like, if you go walking in there and all you've got is like lightning 3 or fire 2 or something, you're just like, oh no. Oh no, we've entered the bad times.
Yeah, they're scary, they're uncomfortable, and they're with a 3-person party. It's like I've been doing that pretty much every race, and I'm sticking with it, and I'll live and die by it. And it is not fun for a 3-person party, period. And it's, you know, when they detonated the Black Mage on turn 1, I'm like, this is not going to end well. I can just tell. And then they just kept casting garbage spells, and I'm like, I'm just going to hold A and see what happens. And it worked.
I know they always say the Topher in general is the great equalizer, and I think Fundead just laughs at that and goes, let me show you what that really means.
Yeah, I'll see your equalizer and I'll raise you some pain.
So I believe Fred might not make it for the interview.
Yeah.
I think he said he had to get his kids to sleep.
Yeah. Danny, do you have any more questions?
I don't think so. Like, I think, like, I mean, you pretty much mentioned it, just route divergence early is kind of what set the runners apart. And then just the grinding to different levels on the black belt is what made the difference in the end. But both runners ran really well. GG to Fred, he may not have taken the win on this, but he played that seed really, really well. Man, Fundead just sucks. They are very, very rude.
Alright, well, Luffy, you are moving on to face whoever ends up losing between Not Young Me and Saracen. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good to finally to get a win here. You know, I faced Duskbloom in round 1, and she's my kryptonite. She beat me last year. She beat me this year. So to get a win in SGL feels good. And we'll see what happens next. Saracen is, ducked on with me. We do a lot of things together, and he's been playing extremely well in these flags. So he's scary. And the other person, I wasn't looking ahead to who I was playing. Who is it? Not Young Me. He's just good too. Like he went pretty far, I think, in spring tournament this past year. So he's no slouch either. So I'm just gonna do what I can to give him my best run. I can't, say that there's not a part of me that kind of hopes it's Saracen, so I can just kind of stick it to him a little bit because he's been beating me in every async. But I mean, I'm just looking forward to having a good race and have some fun and race some friends and see what happens.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to give a special shout out thanks to the unsung heroes of our stream tonight. We had Chanigan stepping up and doing the restream. We had JLo stepping up and doing the tracking. Thank you so much to both of you. And a special thanks to my partner in crime, my co-coms, Danny. This is fun. You should do it more often.
Well, I think that's a bit much. I mean, I was right there with you up till this was fun. I'm calling you on the whole I should do it more, but I mean, I can't just let you do it all alone. I mean, it could have, but I didn't want to, so I figured I'd jump in, and I'm glad I did. I had a lot of fun, and it was a great race to watch. Like you said, shout outs to Chicken again and JLo for being the other half of the broadcast crew, and chat was fun, so thanks for hanging out and watching, those who did.
Stay tuned, everyone. We've got more FFR shenanigans to come tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern.
Boy.
We've got Caleb versus Fryteeth for the SGLive tournament. That will be on a Speed Gaming channel to be determined.
Of course, Caleb's racing that early in the morning.
I know, what's wrong with him? And then after that, at 10 a.m., we've got the Game 2 semifinals match of the Final Fantasy Randomizer Cross LADXR tournament. We got Two Swords Drawn versus Le Guerrier de la Omelette. That'll be at 10 a.m. That'll be on Final Fantasy Randomizer. If you enjoy co-op and you enjoy AP shenanigans, that's going to be where you want to go check it out. For everybody here at the Final Fantasy Randomizer community, my name is Lord Fizzlebeef, and we will see you all next time. Have a good night, everyone.